I know how things go viral.
That's right.
We're going to just talk for a few minutes about some of our communication avenues. How many of you have seen this sheet or something similar to it before? Okay, about half of you maybe. Okay, good. Well, not good, but
I have no idea.
So what I want to do is I just want to go through. These are the different ways that you have an opportunity. We encourage you to communicate about what's going on specifically in the department that you lead. I know the central staff, most of the central staff team has seen an earlier version of this. My goal would be for all of you guys as staff, as well as we have a lot of ministries that are led by volunteers, that we would all be on the same page, or at least have something to refer people to about how we communicate and why we use different forms of communication for different things. It's difficult to, there's so many different messages that need to be communicated by so many different groups, and there's so many things going on that we've tried to streamline it and focus things in different ways so that it was kind of uniform across the board and everybody could kind of run in these tracks that we have. So what I just want to do is go down, I'm going to highlight, I'm not going to read through every one of these, but I want to just highlight a couple things as we go through this. The first thing, the most important way to communicate is within your own ministry. We don't really want ministry leaders to look at the Scoop or the Loop or one of these as their only form of communication. We really want to encourage people. The best way to communicate is through email directly to people that are in your ministry, like your ministry leaders, that kind of thing. So emails, phone calls, face-to-face, like those are the primary ways to communicate, and then these are really meant to support and give some direction to that primary form of communication. So we have a lot of these. I really hope you're familiar with most of these. The number 2 there, the Scoop, is what goes in every single week. One of the things that usually about twice a year, we like to remind people that what we ask from the Scoop, and it gives you a bunch of information about what type of what information goes in there. But we're really looking to get those by a Wednesday, about 11 days before it goes printed on a Sunday. And a lot of times ministry leaders do that pretty easily. However, what generally happens is as the ministry year rolls on, specifically for those of you guys who have just a lot of maybe a lot of programming or whatever, it becomes more. They tend to be more and more like handed in late, that kind of thing, and it just makes it challenging to get things done in time. So I want to just encourage you specifically. I know most of you guys already know this, but for the ministry leaders maybe that aren't here, if you could maybe at some point, in your Christmas card maybe, say, hey, if you could, hand in your Scoop stuff by 11 days before, it just helps the team out and helps us try to figure out what we can and can't do there. The Loop is a PowerPoint presentation. There's some information about that on there. Ministry Central is something that is really the goal for that is to be a place for people to register or sign up for something when just putting something on their response card won't do. Like it's not sufficient. So it's not really just, hey, we're having an event, let's have something at Ministry Central, because they can sign up on a response card for an event. It's more, we got to collect money from them, we got to give them this information for the money, that kind of thing. So the big thing there, and you guys really have done a great job with this, is that if you're scheduled, you got to remember you have to have someone there at both campuses after both services. And so for the most part, you guys have we've done a really good job doing that. The Sunday verbal announcements are a form of communication. The website is a form of communication. And I would just encourage you, one of the things that Beth primarily does the updates for the website, makes changes, tries to keep an eye on things, and if things get outdated. But if you, particularly central staffers, or if there's someone on your team that you've designated to do this, could regularly, even like every other month, check whatever the pages are that kind of relate to your ministry, and just see, is there anything on there that's outdated? And if you find anything or you want to change, hey, can you change those pictures are from 1996 or something? Can you change it? And then Beth would be the one to email and just say, hey, I'd like to make some changes to the content of that particular page. The Membership Matters newsletter goes out. We've decided to try to do it more like an every other month thing. And really the goal of Membership Matters is to celebrate the ways that we've seen our vision be accomplished. So it's not so much designed to be another way to promote an upcoming event or an upcoming thing, as much as, hey, look what God's doing, look what happened, look at this win that happened in our ministry, and that's kind of what that is geared toward. The exception to that would be Pastor Joel a lot of times will write an article that's talking about the upcoming message series, and so he's casting vision for the upcoming series and an event that might tie to that. But any of the articles that the rest of us are submitting, we really want to try to focus those on celebrating wins that have happened with the congregation. The last thing there are inserts, which we've really tried to reduce the numbers of those as much as possible. And then coming soon, and you'll hear more about this at some point, not today though, I don't think. The database. Are we going to call it Floyd or are we? I don't know. That's a name. I think Melly threw that one around. Floyd. So my question to you, that's a lot of information, and you can take a look at it later. Is there anything that you have any questions about, things that you're wondering about, anything on these lists, or things that are, hey, this is a confusing thing that we could use some clarification on, or this is something we've run into that, have you ever considered this? Anything like that you guys, thoughts that you